nice 70 degrees before we get back in the 40s. And my hand trimmer's not as bad. Just slightly. It's not as bad as it usually is. So, with that said, because I can't predict every day what my body's gonna do and everything, I figured that I would get this box prepped. As you guys remember, I had my buddy Alex in good old PA, because here in the Illinois, it's a communist country. Can't just go out and shoot, or open carry. But I had him take a nice box, throw some 9mm downrange, put some nice holes in. See, it looks pretty good. So I am going to start getting this prepped for the FallOut build. You got to get one of these. It's a Zona saw. This saw and the thickness of it is just right for cutting frets. I don't know if it's for, regular 6-stringers or not. Probably because it fits the tang just perfectly for medium or jumbo frets, which I use medium instead of jumbos for these guitars because, well, it's not a 6-stringer, Fender, Gibson, all those other companies, they pretty much use, so at least get my hole cut, get it cleaned up, get the FallOut decal set on here, get this thing prepped for my P90 hole so I can get it cut. Yeah, and just go from there. The shovel guitar's over there too, because I thought about sanding it. We'll see how I feel. But like I said, I'm going to get on here with you guys. Share some words of wisdom if you want to build a CBG. A 6-stringer, it's about the same. If you're starting, from the ground up building a guitar, you got the vision in your head. And I've had this vision in my head since about last, October, November-ish. When I came out and officially told you guys. It might have been longer than that. I don't know. But this cigar box geetar, the lid opens the wrong way. Typically, your lids open sideways like this or this way. This one's reversed. So, which means we're not going to cut a notch on this side now because it opens up this way. So I will show you guys how to do that. And like I said, try to get it cut. So get the Zona saw. Another thing that you guys are going to want, not that we're doing it to this build, but it's just perfect to talk about. Hey, there's my razor blade. I've been looking for that. Is this nice little ditty from CB Giddy. I did not mean to make that rhyme, but this is for if you're going to do a back angle. Scarf joint, sorry, not back angle. Scarf joint on your cigar boxes, on your necks. You want to get this little guy. So go to cbgiddy.com. Pretty much all of my work I do comes from there. I'm always dropping stuff. But let's get that cut now. How this build's going to come to be and do this work. Gotta be very careful because, like I said, my hand trimmer's not so bad, but yeah, I don't want to cut my hand. But get these saws, get a Zona saw. Go to cbgiddy.com. You can find all your pickups. They even have, if you want to build 6-stringers, they have some stuff for that, but typically it's for, diddly bows, which are 1-string, 3-string, 4-string. This is going to be my first 4-string. I've always built just 3 strings of diddly bows. And I'm like, you know what? I want a 4-stringer. And this thing's going to get awesome, awesome killer strings. It's almost going to sound like a baritone, which is kind of, what I'm going for, that deep, throaty growl, and not to mention using that P90, you're going to get that. It's made like the traditional P90s from Gibson back in the day, that muddy, murky, just how they used to be wound and set up. These things sound absolutely incredible. So, another thing you're going to want if you're going to cut your boxes, which I'm going to show you. This thing's so dirty. This is for your neck notching template. And this is the thickness of these guys right here. So that fits perfect in there. So what you want to do is when you look at your box, always tip your box upside down. It always helps. Okay, you're going to tip your box upside down. See if I can't get you guys a little lower here. So you guys can... There we go. We'll just tip you. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to set this on your box. What you're going to do is you're going to find the center of the box. You're going to look at your notches. I'll try to get a closer camera view for you guys. So another thing you can do, if you don't have one of these and don't want to buy one of these, get yourself a trusty tape measure. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What I'm doing, guys, I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up the comments. What I'm doing is the FallOut build. If some of you guys watch my previous lives from last year, October to November of last year, is I had my buddy throw some lead down range for me, 9mm. Live here in Illinois, they don't like you walking around with guns and, you know, just shooting whenever you want. So I said, hey man, you live out in the boons of PA and you can just walk out your front door, your back door, and shoot. So I had him throw some 9mm Lugers down range to make this the FallOut build. So if you guys either play the game, it's not so much in the movie, the TV show now, but if you guys play the FallOut games, they have cigar boxes that you can trade, you know, as scrap. So I thought to myself, well, what if we took one and made it look like it's been through hell, like a building's been shot up and it went through the building and it's all peppered, and why not make a FallOut guitar? Like I said, the first one's going to be a 4-string, because I've always built 3-strings. And I'm like, well, you know what, let's make this one a little throaty. So that is what I'm doing. I should have done this years ago with you guys, back 2.5 years ago, but the problem is I didn't have over 50 followers. We're at 53, so if you guys can, you know, share with your friends and family here, I'm going to do a lot more builds with you guys this year. But I need to get this one prepped, so we need to get this cut, because here is our neck blank, alright? This is our neck blank. This is what we start with. And if you guys want a comparison to what I'm trying to go through, let me grab this guitar. This one right here is a buddy of mine's guitar. I still need to get it out to him one of these days. It's a nice 3-stringer. And the best thing about how I build these is, you know, you can do it righty or lefty. And that's what's awesome about doing these tuners the way they are. These are actual real Gibson Buckers. He wanted a nice slider guitar. So there's your scarf joint. This is actually set to a perfect Gibson. But this is an awesome killer guitar. And as you can see here, here's your heel. So if you're playing, you get your hands wrapped around it just right. That's what we're trying to do with this one. But we have to get the notch cut in order for it to work. So I got to get the notch cut. And basically, in a nutshell, me in a nutshell. Obviously, I got to cut down the length and all that, but to give you guys a good comparison here, that's what the box is going to look like. And we start shredding away here. So you're basically building from scratch. That's what's awesome about these CBGs, or as a lot of other people call it, folk art instruments. That's what's so fun about these, is that you can do whatever you want. And I'll show you guys the decal that's going on here, in case if you guys didn't follow along since last year. Alright. Like I said, another thing you can do is you can take your tape measure, but get one of these from CB Giddy. It's going to help you. What you can do is, you go in the center of your box. So that's going to be 1 3/8. And then you're going to find dead center. So our dead center is pretty much going to be 3 3/4. So if you use your tape measure. Like I said, this isn't the most funnest thing in the world to do. But these things right here, it's so dirty I'm going to have to clean it. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll go slow. So you're trying to line up dead center. Okay, I got all right. So what you want to do is after that, you can use a permanent marker, okay? So you can use a permanent marker. You can use a permanent marker. Or a pencil. I like to use this because it's easier once I get going here. So. Alright. I usually do this standing up, not sitting down. Alright. So now we got that done. What you want to do is you're going to grab your piece of neck wood, whatever you're going to use for your actual neck blank, right? What you're going to do is you're going to double check your work. Make sure you are perfectly in line. Always triple check your work. Cut once, cuss 4 times. Remember that. Alright, so now what comes next is, so we can get going on our build more, is we need to get this thing cut. Now there's a few different ways you can cut this. A few different ways you can cut this. So, I've never done this before. I've never been able to talk, and I'm usually got my music blasting and getting in the zone, so this is definitely a first for me. Where is... Okay. Alright. So, you can use your drill, which I don't... It's buried right now. You can use your drill. So, as long as you get a saw, that works. What you want to do is you want to you want to cut inside your lines. And all you have to do is you grab your file. Alright. and have a steady hand. My problem is my damn hand's shaking. I'm not trying to cut my damn finger off. Because that'd be a really bad day. Okay. So what you're wanting to do is, if you don't see, there's my mark, right? There's the dead center of my box. So what you do is what I was doing is you cut down to this line right here. And if you have a thicker box lid like this one, you have to cut the top too. But if it's thinner, you wouldn't have to. And so you cut all the way down to this line. Now what you can do is you can use your drill. So now you can use a thicker drill bit, or you can use a very fine drill bit. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your drill. Oh, excuse me. You're going to take your drill to that line that we cut, right? And you go along this line right here. You're going to go along that line, and you take your drill bit and you drill holes, and you come in and you go sideways with your drill bit, and eventually you can snap it off. But I made my life a whole lot easier. Well, my wife helped me make my life a whole lot easier. My wife got me a Dremel, and this is going to be a pretty thick box lid to cut through, but I think that Dremel can do it. My Dremel's right here. Okay. Alright. Alright. Let me get this thing plugged in. Okay. Alright. I hate the plugins. I hate the plugins in this old apartment, man. I've tripped several times doing this in the past couple of years. Alright. I gotta go get my eye protection. Okay. Get my eye protection going here. Where'd it go? Alright. I get my buffer off of here. I typically use this buffer for redressing my frets and making my frets, polishing them and shine. So, and my glasses are fogging up because I'm hot. Okay. Alright. Come on, get in there. Okay. Alright. Like I said, you can use your drill to do it, but Dremel makes your life so much easier. On my old pickups, I used to have to just like that, so this Dremel makes my life a whole heck of a lot easier. And turn it down to the lowest setting when you do this. Alright. So. Alright. Okay. You know, I'd probably already be halfway done with this by now, but damn hand trimmer, dude. Alright, so turn this down to its lowest setting. Test it first. Actually, I'm going to put it about 1.5 instead of 2. Where the hell did I go? Okay, it fell out. I guess I didn't want to do it today. Really? Okay. Alright, here it is. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Okay. Alright. So you're going to go along your lines. And just like that. Sorry. But you guys can hear me doing it, so. Alright. And just like that. The hole's cut. Excuse me. Pardon me. Alright. I'm trying to take my time. My hand's shaking like crazy. Like I said, my body's got to get used to doing this. We've been not doing it for a year. Alright, so the time being... Yeah, this is absolutely... It's thick. This box. Alright. Set that down over there. I keep these scraps sometimes because... Alright, now watch this. You ready? You ready? Because I cut on the inside, so the outside I didn't make it too wide. But once I get this sanded down, we gotta get this cut down. So another thing I have to do is, if you're going to build with a heel, now you don't have to build with a heel like this once again. This runs all the way through the box, all the way down at the bottom, all the way to here. This is 13 inches. And that's your heel, you know, kind of like a regular guitar that they have the heel built in. The only difference with this is you always want to get the length of the inside to where you're going. So take your tape measure, right? You're going from the inside, the dead part of this box. And already we're at 8 inches. So that tells me that I can have a heel instead of being 13, 14 inches because this box is smaller than the normal ones I build. We can do our heel about 9 inches or 9.5, you know, to make it feel like a real guitar. So what you do is got 9 inches there. I don't always use permanent marker. I always use a pen because I can easily get this off with, you know, just scrubbing it real fast instead of a permanent marker. So what we know that we want is we want this to be 25 inches. I can do a 24-inch scale, but I want it to be, you know, 25 to 25.5. You got the Fender Gibson scale. I could do 23 inches. And your scale length determines from your nut or your 0 fret to where you want your saddle to be. So what I need to do is I need to take my trusty file. But what you want, you see this file right here? This file was made at Bethlehem Steel. Very, very old. And this was my very first horse. You can use it for horse, you know, you can use it for any animal that has big hooves. This was my very first file I got for horses. The very first file, horses and cows right here. That's the OG, as people would say. But this guy's a little better. This cuts through like it's hot butter. So what I need to do is take a little bit off at a time. Grab your neck. Alright. And then basically I need to put blocks in here too. So to give you guys an overview, so I put 2 blocks in here to make this perfectly level and perfectly straight. Hold on. Okay. Perfectly straight. You see that? I gotta put blocks in here to raise it perfectly level. Same thing. I don't glue my blocks until I test the fit. And you get that man glitter all over yourself. Hole. Neck. Slide it in. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab what your fretboard is. Now this is where you see this notch right here. That is where your fretboard is going to line up. So in my case, my fretboard is this nice thick Lowe's yardsticks. It goes right up here. So you do your test. Perfect 17 inches. It's a mimic. Don't know how well you can tell. Here, let me hold this. Here, let me do it this way. Look how perfect that is. 11, 11, 10 to 10, 12 to 12. Now, obviously, you want the 12 to line up because that's your 12th fret. That's why it's better to use one of these. That's just my opinion. Now you can use the fancier, thicker ones, but all of these, all my guitars, I've used my yardsticks from Lowe's. I think you can get, what we got, I don't know how we got there. I think I burned through 4 of them, 5 of them. And I think I got those for like $1.67. That was like 2.5 years ago. So what we do is, this is our fretboard. That's where you're going to glue it, right at that notch. Yeah, we cut it down. basically we need our fretboard. I'm trying to do this one-handed flush. So this has to be all the way up here. That's why you always want to measure. Measure multiple times so you don't screw up. I have to say, for doing this for a long time, I can see it in my head, if you know what I mean. Doesn't sound crazy. So that part's done. Now the other thing, like I said, this is the fretboard. It's as simple as that. They look cool. This one's not fretted because it's a slider. So that's my zero nut, aka my 0 fret jumbo with real Gibson buckers. This thing's gonna be really nice. It's for a buddy of mine, and to get cheeky with it. So my old neck blanks that I have are like they had a petrified wood, you know, wood that's over 100 years or more, and it broke off. So I was like, well, that looks cool, and it fits really well around your hand. Well, I guess if you got tiny hands like me, but so another thing we gotta do these are my headstock drilling templates. I showed you guys these before. And what I love about these, you see this right here? Those notches? That tells you where your strings are going to run, where you can line it perfectly straight up. That's what I love about these templates. Your drill hole templates. You can use that to line your strings up perfectly. So, I'm a-thinking that we're going to get fancy here. I was thinking about perfectly, but you know what? I'm thinking that we're going to do 2 right and 2 left. I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. Kind of sold on that. So here comes the fun part about where this part comes in for me, since I don't have a big luxury table. You see this block of wood? I take this block of wood. You know what I need to cut next? I just set it on there, clamp it, cut it. And then when we go to do my holes, I use it for the same thing. I clamp everything in place. My drill hole's nice and even, so if I go through, it's just an old block of wood. It ain't gonna ruin this thing. So this thing's been through the ringer in 3 years. But it works well. Even when I do my fret work, I set this thing on here, and I clamp it for my frets, and it makes life easier. This is my fret saw, the same one I used to cut my hole with. It fits the tangs perfectly. Chef's kiss. We'll get into that at another go here. So, since I'm using this design of instead of 3, so you always got to make sure this is the right side. So the grainy side is the side that you want up. But the thing is about this, you see those lines? That means that you can line this up. I gotta hold it on here. I usually clamp it on. But that means that your string catch, to run your strings, you're making sure right off the rip when you go to do this at the end of the day, that your strings are going to be perfectly in line. And that's exactly how it is. So when you go to put your 0 fret, when you're 0 fret, like I said, I'm not using a bone nut or anything like that. I'm just using a fret. So my 0 fret is going to be right at this line. You see that line right there? That is where your fretboard lines up. The fretboard lines up perfectly right there. So like I said, when you go to do this, and you go to run your strings, all you gotta do is you put this back on the neck. I'm trying to hold it. So when you run your strings, we'll get to that in another video. I should have done that years ago. But that means that your strings are perfectly aligned, which means your strings ain't going to go every which way. And when you go to put your 0 fret on, what you're going to do is you're going to line this up to your 0 fret. Line your marks up. That means that you're going to cut them perfectly straight, and the strings are going to fall right in line. So with this one, I know we'll use kind of a Fender style. We'll use a little... oh, they're buried. I didn't put one on that, but this is for the string tension. You see these right here? That's for the string tension to hold the strings down. What we'll have to do is we'll have to put 2 separate ones in to keep the strings in line up here once we put our tuners in. But that's another video for another day. But that's what we're going to get to in another video at another time. But last thing I want to do today is I want to get my hole cut for my pickup. Like I said, you want to get these from CB Giddy. Go to cbgiddy.com. I usually wear my CB Giddy hat, but I'm not going to get dirty and dust. I like to try to keep it nice. But it's the 7-piece headstock template. You'll need these if you want to do your strings perfectly, or you can do it the old school way and use your ruler or use these guys. But this is a lot better if you're trying to do it professionally and look good. And I have OCD, so that's why I need stuff like this to be perfect. Chef's kiss. So, with that said, oh, okay. I forgot I had to put them in here because they won't fit in one of my cigar boxes that I have right now. I hope I didn't ruin them. Okay. So another thing about looking professional and doing it the right way. Your routing templates. What I love about this, try to pause it. So when I put this video up later, you people can pause it and take a look. Get these from CB Giddy. So, this one right here is single coil without the cover plate. Single coil with the cover plate, so you're going to get it square instead of looking like the lipstick tube. This is the chrome gold covered 4 and 6 pole harnesses, and of course, the bigger lipstick tube. So you got the smaller guys and you got the bigger guys. And then this one's your mini humbucker without the cover plate, with the cover plate, the 4-pole base, Silk Bar P90, which is what we'll be using is the Silk Bar P90. So these guys, once again, to do it right, and the same thing applies. So when you guys see me cut my hole perfectly straight, I'm coming for you. Okay, anyways, moving on. Sorry. I'm just feeling really, really good because just to be able to do this again. It's been over a year, man. I'm trying to fight. My hand trimmer's getting worse, but I'm trying to get to where I want to be today with you guys. I'm just trying not to rush myself so I don't hurt myself. But because this is backwards, normally your cigar box opens here or opens here. This is the backwards box. That's why we're doing this ass backwards instead of forwards. So, with that said, this has to be this way. Now, my Silk Bar P90. Oh, this is what you can do too. Sorry, I was just going to go ahead and do it. I keep forgetting some of you guys are probably interested in doing this yourself. Sorry. Okay, eat a Hoosier. So, do the same way. Use this good old guy here. You're going to find your dead center. And the dead center is right at 4 inches. Which is right dead center with the logo. Let me see if I can get this for you guys and show you. Okay. Well, you know what? Come here. I'll show you guys this way. You ready? Hopefully you see that. 4 inches. Get you guys away from the microwave. The microwave's sitting right behind me. So, ah! Ah, crap. Alright, hold on, guys. I got you in my special mount here, and I'm trying to keep it perfect. Okay. So, like I said, so your dead center is 4 inches. But, get these guys from CB Giddy. If you want to build cigar box guitars like me, go to cbgiddy.com. This thing is so filthy. So you're going to do the same thing to find your dead center as we did dead center of the box. And 7.5. Perfect. Like I said, you can use a permanent marker. I don't like to. Another thing you can do, I should have done this for you guys, but I'm used to already my way of doing this. But what you can do is duct tape. Don't take the duct tape because it's black. This one. Anyways, so you're going to use the same stuff when you paint your walls at home, not your vehicles, because this isn't the stuff. This stuff right here is used for like, when you're doing your baseboards. You can take this stuff. I got a brand new roll right here. You can take this stuff and you can cover where you're going to do it so you don't ruin the rest of the box. But since this is the FallOut build and this box is rough, I'm going to try to take my time. Damn hand trimmers. Try to take my time and do it perfect. Oh, it took you guys for a ride. Okay. And I guess another thing I should talk about, even though we're going to build this thing together with each other, and of course that's weather permitted, especially when I go to staining, is I guess some people have asked, what frets do I use? CB Giddy. And these are Jescar frets, the same fret company that makes Fender, Gibson, pretty much everybody, Jescar makes them. Mediums. Now, you can go to CB Giddy, and they have these mediums. They have a pound of it. A pound. And getting the pound is $99. So that's why I just get the 6-foot packs. So I still got some left over. The 6-foot pack. Oh, no. What got on this? Uh-oh. Oh, no. But Jescar mediums. It just has CB Giddy's name stamped on them. Okay, moving along. I got more frets down there. Okay, so we are going to get this centered up here. And I guess I can show you my Silk Bar P90. Still got them in their packages, perspective packages. CB Giddy. Wish I could do the mini. I think the mini bucker would work, but we're just gonna have to do the big ass. Alright. So, another thing that I'm going to be doing. Let me just put these up here behind my sunglasses. Okay. So, another thing that I'm going to be doing here. Got the back window open and the wind's blowing. Here's my soap bar. Here's my P90. I gotta take this damn thing apart. And I might just mask the tape because I don't think I can take this one all the way apart. Actually, I can take it apart. I'm gonna back out those screws. I'm gonna take this plate cover off, and we're gonna paint it green and just beat it up afterwards. But basically, yeah, it's too small. Okay. So it's gonna give a little bit of wiggle room. That's for your P90. So I'm going to get this marked and I'm going to get it cut. And then after that, I'm going to clean this thing off. Once my hole is done. And then I'm going to get the decal on here, and we're going to put the decal on. So, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Try and get back in the swing of things. I was like, oh, my hand's feeling good. We're gonna be good today. No, I've been on the struggle bus ever since. Okay. I guess since we're talking fret wire, here's my jumbos that I use. Same frets as what you would find on a Fender, Gibson. Your jumbo frets, people say large, but they're jumbo. And the cool part is look at these guys. How about this, huh? How about this, guys? Look at these guys. These are the old school that you would find on a parlor guitar. Just like my original 1950 upstairs. I love these. I love the look of these. These are going to be great on so many different guitars. And they come in 3 right and 3 left. They come in packs. Like this. And you even get your bushings right there. Alright. With that explained, okay, once I get this done, right here, you see it? You see that? The Brotherhood Power Armor is just absolutely incredible. I found this, and you know when you play in the game, you can see all these on the walls. There's different stuff, but nothing beats the Brotherhood. So that thing, once I get the hole done, wherever my hole is going to probably right, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it down a little bit, which is fine. Okay, so. Okay. But that's going to go under it. So when you're playing the guitar, you're going to see this. So that has to be added to it. You know, it fits the game. My wife got me... I put them in here. Hold on. My wife got me these two. Oh. That's the New Vegas. But I think I'm going to wood burn in the back of this box. I think I'm going to wood. Woo. Words are hard. Wood burn the FallOut logo. I'm going to try. If not, I'll just cut this out and put it back there. I'm hoping I can wood burn. I need to test my new wood burner that my kitties got me for Christmas. Okay, back to work, sorry. feel like it says 57 minutes, so hot damn. Woo! Hot dog. Okay, so alright. Yeah, my hand's twitching so bad. Alright. Okay. Like I said, so with this is the same way that I did my... Oh, I'm stuck. You're not using this time. So you can either use your Dremel tool or screwdriver. And you go down the line like this. You go down the line and trace it out, and then you're going to come in sideways. It's a longer process, but I'm so glad that I have a wood burner. So glad I have a wood burner now. Okay. Alright. So we're just gonna zip and then zip. Okay. So this will probably be the last thing I'm gonna do with you guys today. My neck's starting to hurt and my hand trimmer's getting worse, so. So once again, use eye protection. You don't have to. You know, OSHA might watch something of yours, and here's my joke. OSHA might watch something of yours and go, oh shit. I used to say that about my shop all the time, because I did a lot of stuff that was pretty sketchy, but you know what? It worked. So joke on those guys. Protect your eyeballs, guys. You don't have to, but believe me, getting dust in your eyes, it hurts really bad. Getting WD-40 in your eyes hurts really bad. Painting a vehicle and accidentally getting it in your eyeballs hurts really bad. So this is about the only time you'll ever hear me, rant about safety. Forgot to put these back in my P90. It's about the only time you'll probably ever hear me say that. If you're doing something like this, protect your eyeballs. Because it really does hurt really, really bad. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is really gonna hurt myself really bad standing like this, but I can't sit down and do it. It drives me crazy. Once again, eye protection. Try to watch your phalanges. Oh, and these things, when they break, they really break. What's up, guys? We're just sitting here having some fun doing this. Well, trying to have fun. My hand and my back's really killing me in my neck. So I'm just trying to get this done. And another reason where eye protection, besides, wood coming back at you, these things like to explode. And when they explode, trust me. And I guess if you're a person who can smell, I lost my taste of my smell on my accident, but other people have always said, and I remember when I used to do this stuff, the aroma of getting that tobacco and burned wood in your nose. So I'm pretty sure I have that right now. So that'd be another thing that you can look forward to enjoying while doing this yourself. I just told you guys. When it goes, it goes. I gotta find all them pieces later. I'm laughing, but with you guys watching this back after the live version, it got me right there in my forehead. It's just telling me that, you know, hey man, you forgot about this stuff, so we're not gonna let you forget about it, man. That's exactly what it told me, you know? So. But anyways, I'm gonna get this cut, take the P90 out, show you guys. I'm gonna have to work on my edges and round my edges off. So I might put my template back and then take, I think my round one's stuck in here. I'm gonna take my edges to have it a nice fit, so. Fun times, fun times. Oh, and keep your mouth closed if you want to use a respirator, use a respirator. But you are going to get sawdust in the lungs. You know, I understand I don't have a lot of people on here, you know. I understand this could be boring, but like, you know, I wanted to show all of you people out there that, like, when you look at them, sometimes you're like, oh, that's not as complex as a, that's not as complex as, you know, a regular 6-string. Well, there's a lot of thought into these, and you know, it does take a little bit of time to do all this. There's a lot involved. Oh, I forgot how to grab another one. There's a lot involved in doing one of these and try to make it, you know, like a 6-string. You know, but you're using less strings. You know, but these things are fun. I'm going to be excited. When this thing's all said and done here, in the next month or two. You know, we got to go on my hand days and neck days, and right now I'm pushing my limits, and I'm seriously hurting. Doing this all. So, yeah. I'm just trying to get some of this done. It's really my back and my neck doing it this way. I'm sweating so much that my dang glasses are fogging up. Damn, I'm not even through the fucking top yet. Yep, not even through it yet. It's thick box. Ouch! Oh, so much. Yeah, it hurts. Almost through. Oh. 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 Okay. Alright. I know it's going to be the longest video I've ever done, but like I said, I want to show you guys, you know, stuff takes time. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely. You guys like my t-shirt? It says warning, do not touch my tools or my daughter. Should say daughters. Love my kids. My oldest just turned 27. On the 18th, man, it's hard to believe. Time has flown by. Sadly enough. That's how all things work. But, you know, when you look back on it, your kids get older, you're like, son of a bitch. And then you're wondering why you have so many damn gray hairs. And you're like, that's why. Most of you probably know what I'm talking about. Some of you do, anyways. Like I said, you know, I'm sorry for people that are going to watch this after live because I don't have anybody in right now. But I just wanted people to see, you know, planning stuff out and then doing, you know, stuff just, it takes time. And for me, I can't do it as fast as I once did. We'd probably already be through this by now. But my hand trimmer, I'm trying not to mess up and be so jagged and crappy. Well, my hand is sitting here just shaking like a leaf and I'm trying to apply pressure on it. Oh. Yeah. Alright, usually keep some of these for heels sometimes, but I need a thinner one. Just all depends on your project. Don't ever let anything go to waste. Oh yeah, it's gonna be thin right there with that. Okay, alright. Okay. Alright. Oh. Okay. Alright. Okie dokie. Okay. Alright. First time using all my stuff in a year again. Gotta get reorganized. Oh man. Okay. Alright. Okay, so alright. Alright. We're getting there. Oh. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. I'm about out of gas, guys. Just gonna get this thing done. Get that damn decal on there, and I'm gonna call it even. Son of a bitch. Oh, my body is killing me so bad. Oh. Hey, welcome back. You haven't done this in a year. We're gonna make you remember what it was. Okay. Okay. Perfect. I'll show you guys. You ready? Okay. And I just have to even her up. But there you go. now I'm going to clean this box up. Clean up my mess. Okay. All right. Grab a little bit of window cleaner. All right. A little bit of window cleaner. Okay. All right. Okay. Get that decal on there. Oh. And then we're halfway there. Takes a lot, man. All right. There you go. Voila. See how it looks like P90 yet? I'm thinking, oh, it didn't put it away yet. That's cool. That is awesome. That is awesome. Sweet. All right. Oh shit. I about lost it there. All right, guys. I think that'll wrap up today's venture. We just need to start working and cutting on the neck. I walked over that with you guys, so I just hope you guys have a rest of your Good Friday. I know that I am absolutely spent and beat, but I told myself what I was going to do today, and I achieved what I was going to do today, and now I hurt like hell. And my wife's home. She's coming. You can see her, right? There. Oh, right there. Remember my finger pointing? But yeah, I got this done. I got what I wanted done today. I talked with you guys. I overdid it, but it was well worth it.
What up, YouTube? Instagram, everywhere.
But it was well worth it, guys. So, like I said, I got done what I wanted to get done. Now it's not going to drive me crazy. And I'm going to go kick back and take it easy and all that fun jazz and pitter patter and habit or whatnot, guys. But there you go. In a nutshell, thank most of you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I need to go sweep up my mess and all that fun stuff. So, but I love you guys. Everybody have a good rest of your weekend. We'll see how I feel, but I'm really, really bad. So, I don't know. But anyways, we'll just keep going. You know, eventually March, April, we're almost at the end of March. My birthday's next Friday. But we'll eventually get there. I was gonna work on something else, but oh well, who cares? But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just take it easy, guys. Enjoy yourselves out there. And just have a good weekend. And